And we begin with the UK's latest royal wedding. Princess Eugenie and Jack Brooksbank say "I do." The Queen's 6th grandchild and Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's youngest daughter's wedding was fit for a young royal. The princess walked down the aisle at St. George's Chapel on the grounds of Windsor Castle, holding her father's arm. And today we've got the wedding covered, from the dress and flowers to who was and wasn't in attendance for the big day. Here comes the bride. Eugenie ascended the steps of St. George's Chapel in a flowing ivory gown fit for a princess. London-based designers Peter Pilato and Christopher DeVos created the custom dress with an open back. No veil for the 28-year-old bride. She wore an emerald and diamond tiara borrowed from Queen Elizabeth. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were among the 850 guests. They said their "I do's" at the same church just 5 months ago. In a rare display of affection, Prince William and his wife Kate held hands as they waited for the ceremony to begin. Their children, Prince George and Princess Charlotte, took center stage as part of the royal wedding party. It was cuteness overload as the little ones held hands and battled strong winds. On the steps of the chapel, one of the page boys lost his footing and took a tumble. There's some uninvited gusts of wind, that is. A parade of royal wedding guests clutched their fascinators as they battled the blustery day. But one guest couldn't hold on tight enough, losing her topper in the wind. And talk about a Windsor Castle catwalk as models and actors transformed the wedding into a fashion show. Supermodel Naomi Campbell strutted in a glittery black and silver ensemble. Cara Delevingne opted for a menswear-inspired look. Actress Liv Tyler kept it simple with a navy blue skirt suit. And supermodel Kate Moss wore polka dots. Demi Moore made a stylish display wearing a berry-colored dress and matching heels. She walked arm in arm with American florist Eric Budabaugh. A bearded Ricky Martin looked dapper. George and Amal Clooney looked chic at Meghan and Harry's wedding, but they skipped this royal affair. Ed Sheeran and Elton John were also invited, but declined because they're both on tour. Prince Charles was there without wife Camilla, who is in Scotland. But all the attention was on the bride and groom, who were serenaded by the sweet sounds of legendary Andrea Bocelli. And royal expert Victoria Arbiter has all the inside details about Princess Eugenie's wedding, and she's now in our New York newsroom with more. So Victoria, big day, what can you tell us?
Well, Jesse, the bride arrived looking stunning in a custom-designed Peter Pilato dress. It's a British-based designer, and she worked very closely with the designers on this dress. Apparently, she specifically wanted to have a low back so that she could feature the scar that is there as a reminder of the surgery she had when she was 12 years old to correct her scoliosis. It featured a full train, it had a draped neckline. It really was a beautiful dress, and she chose to forego a veil. But what she didn't forego was a tiara, and this tiara was stunning as has something borrowed. It's a diamond and emerald tiara, the Greville tiara. It was made in 1919 and it was a particular favorite of the Queen Mother. And as a nice nod, the fabric of her dress featured symbols that were very important to this couple. The Scottish thistle for their fondness of Balmoral, the Irish shamrock, which represented the maternal side of her family, the York rose, and ivy, which represents the couple's home, Ivy Cottage. Now, Meghan and Kate, as you would expect, looked gorgeous. Both were paying tribute to their wedding dress designers. Kate was sporting the Queen, Meghan was wearing her go-to Givenchy, and also looking very relieved to be seated was the Duchess of York. She looked resplendent in emerald green. People weren't sure whether she was going to be sitting with the royal family, but as the mother of the bride, she took her place in the front pew with the royal family, and she let out what appeared to be quite a big sigh of relief upon arrival.
And Victoria, we know Camilla didn't attend the wedding, but did Eugenie's grandfather, Prince Philip, attend?
Yes, Jesse, I'm delighted to say that 97-year-old Prince Philip was in attendance. He wasn't listed in the order of service, so people weren't sure whether he would be able to attend. Of course, he had hip surgery back in April. But Philip is a very proud grandfather, and apparently he just takes things on a day-by-day basis, which I think is allowed at the grand old age of 97. However, it was fantastic to see him arriving by the Queen's side. Of course, there had been some question as well, because Philip, it's been long known he doesn't have a particular fondness for Sarah, the Duchess of York, but they put all of that aside for Eugenie's special day, and Philip was there alongside the Queen, where he's been for almost 71 years of marriage himself.
All right, Victoria, thank you.